Hi there, guys, everybody in internet land, boys and girls of all ages. I'm Steven Talaferro, and I'm here today to talk to you about the dangers of a certain drug. This drug has been known to cause happy feelings, but it doesn't improve much else. It causes happy feelings, but it does a lot of damage to the self-esteem and the mental health. I'm talking, of course, about the drug known as nostalgia. Now, you're probably all wondering, you probably all know what nostalgia is. It's, you look back on happy memories or like the 90s when we were kids. For my fellow millennials out there, we look back on the 90s. If you're maybe someone in your 40s or 50s, maybe you think back to the 70s, or just any time when you were a kid and you look back and you smile and you're like, oh, I wish those times would come back again. I'm sure it's just as bad for people in the 70s, but for us millennials, it's really bad. I notice in a lot of posts on Facebook and Twitter and other social media that a lot of people post pictures of like 90s Nickelodeon shows and the theme songs to like DuckTales or Darkwing Duck. And everyone's like, oh man, I remember this from when I was a kid. I wish I could do this. I wish I could watch these shows again. I wish I could go back to being a kid. And that's fine, but in very small amounts is what I'm trying to get across here. Nostalgia is like a drug. If you use too much of it, it's a bad thing. And of course, I use the term drug loosely because when you think drug, you think the bad stuff, and you shouldn't do that stuff at all. You should not do drugs at all. If you know anybody or if you are having trouble with drugs, I would suggest going to your doctor or calling for help. But nostalgia, it's what I mean. What I'm trying to say is that nostalgia can be a bad thing. The Oxford Dictionary defines the word nostalgia as longing for the happy times of the past, which is what we do. We post the theme song to 90s cartoons, and we all wish we could go back to that, but it's not coming back. I hate to be that guy, but those times are not coming back. I know they were a lot better than the times we're living in now. I mean, especially with the bad economy, with the shortage of jobs, and the high prices on everything. A lot of people are having trouble making it on their own. They're having to go back to living with their parents. I'm just as guilty of this as anybody else. I mean, look at some of my DVD collections. Like, look, I got the 4 seasons of Alf on DVD because I remember Alf when I was a baby. Of course, well, I remember a little bit of Alf. Got the complete series of Cat Dog, very popular 90s Nickelodeon show. I got the complete series of Rocko's Modern Life. It's one of my most prized possessions. I loved this show as a kid. And someone fell over. I gotta pick them up. And I've got all the episodes of Dinosaurs on DVD. So yeah, I like nostalgia too. It's fun to look back. My point is, don't focus too much on the past. That's all I'm saying. Yes, it's fun to look back on the good times we've had, but don't think those are the only good times you're ever going to have. Don't focus too much on the past. I don't know if this is a quote or not by somebody. I could look it up. I forgot to look it up. But I think someone once said, if you keep walking in old footprints, you'll never make new ones. And that's the point I'm trying to get across. The point I'm trying to get across is don't focus on the past too much. Go out and try your best to make new memories. Maybe even better ones. Because nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody knows where we're going to be 20 years from now. But I'll tell you one thing. I hope 20 years from now that I'm in a different spot. And I hope 20 years from now I have even better memories than I had in the 90s. So that's Steve. That's my point. I'm Steve Talifero saying, go out and make new memories, because it can't hurt.